Hello football fans, what's good? Welcome back to Diary TV, your number one spot for the hottest football updates straight from the heart of the actions. I am your host Ogenekaro Asoe, and today we're diving into some serious drama surrounding Nigerian Super Eagles. Buckle up because we've got a story that could shake up their 2026 world dreams. We've got 9 Super Eagles. Yes, 9 Super Eagles are walking a disciplinary tightrope, just one yellow card away from missing a massive World Cup qualifier against South Africa in September. This is huge, guys. Nigeria is already in a tough spot in Group C, and this could make or break their chances of making it to the World Cup in the USA, Canada, and Mexico. So let's break it all down, get into the nitty-gritty, and talk about what this means for the Super Eagles. Stick with me because this is going to be a wide ride. Alright, let's get straight to the story. According to a report from OwnGoalNigeria.com, 9 of Nigeria's key players are on the verge of suspension for the crucial World Cup qualifiers against South Africa in Johannesburg this September. One more yellow card in their next match against Rwanda, and these guys could be watching the Bafana clash from the sidelines. Can you imagine? The Super Eagles without some of their biggest stars. It's giving me chills just thinking about it. But now the report doesn't name the specific players. Maddening, right? But posts on X give us some clues. Fans and insiders are buzzing, pointing to players like Kavi Bassi, Semi Ajayi, Bright Osai Samuel, Wilfred Ndidi, Tolu Arokodare, and Alex Iwobi as being among those at risk. That is a huge stacked list of talent. These guys are practically the backbone of the team. Defender, midfielders, attackers, you name it. If even a few of them get booked against Rwanda, Nigeria could be heading into Johannesburg severely underpowered. And let's not forget, 3 junior players, Omar Sadiq, Gabriel Osho, and Jumilu Collins, are also mentioned as being on yellow. But some fans are saying that they shouldn't even be in the squad. Ouch! The X community is not holding back, and I'm loving the passion, but seriously, losing our players is a disaster in the first place, and then losing players like Ndidi, who is a midfield general, or Iwobi with his silky skill. They are putting us on a tightrope to walk on. We're talking about a game that could decide whether Nigeria keep their World Cup hopes alive. No pressure, right? But let's zoom out and talk about why the game against South Africa is such a big deal. Nigeria Group C of the 2026 World Cup qualifiers has been a roller coaster so far. As of today, July 17, 2025, the Super Eagles are still sitting in 4th place with 6 points, trailing behind group leader South Africa, who have 13 points. Rwanda and Benin are tied at 8 points each, making the group a tighter one even than a penalty shootout. The Super Eagles have a rough go of it. They started with 3 draws against Zimbabwe, Lesotho, and South Africa before losing to Benin. That was a painful one, and we were really stunned by the Benin Republic. And then when the new coach Eric Chell came in, they bounced back with a 2-0 win over Rwanda thanks to Victor Osimhen's brace, and then they drew 1-1 with Zimbabwe, where Victor Osimhen again scored, but a last gasp equalizer broke our hearts. That draw stinks, fam. It still stings. It left Nigeria 6 points behind South Africa, and with only 4 games left, every game we have left is a do or die. This is a place where it gets interesting. Nigeria's next match against Rwanda is in Uyo, and then they'll face South Africa in Johannesburg. These 2 games are massive. A win against Rwanda could give them momentum, but if those 9 players pick up bookings, South Africa game could be a nightmare. And trust me, Bafana are not messing around. Their coach Hugo Bro is already talking a big game, saying he's confident that they can beat Nigeria even if FIFA deducts points for their own disciplinary drama. We'll give you more on that in a bit. Speaking of South Africa, let's talk about the plot twist that gave Nigeria a lifeline. Reports have been swirling that South Africa may face a 3-point deduction for fielding an ineligible player, Teboho Mokoena, in their 2-0 win over Lesotho. Apparently, Mokoena had 2 yellow cards and should have been suspended, but he played anyways. FIFA rules are strict. 2 yellow cards in separate matches means a 1-game ban, and fielding an ineligible player could cost you 3 points and 3 goals. FIFA followed through with this punishment. Before the September qualifiers, South Africa's tally could drop from 13 to 10, putting them just 4 points ahead of Nigeria. That's a game changer, because Nigeria could close the gap with a win in Johannesburg, especially if they keep their key players available. But here is the kicker: South Africa cannot appeal this decision unless it's a case of mistaken identity, so they will be likely stuck with the punishment. Coach Hugo Bro is actually acting cool about it, saying he's not losing sleep and believes his team can still qualify even with the sanction. That's such bold words from the coach of South Africa. The situation is wide. Nigeria got their own suspension worries. South Africa is facing a potential point deduction, and the group is tight that one slip up could flip everything. So it's like a Nollywood thriller, but with football boots and yellow cards. So what does this mean for all our beloved Super Eagles? First off, Coach Eric Chell has some tough decisions to make. He has been shaking things up since taking over the Unity Cup tournament in London. Really was a proof and gave him a chance to scout new talent like Sario Dessa and Frank Oyenka. But with 9 players at risk of suspension, he might need to dig deep into the squad or even pull up to call up fresh faces. Imagine a Nigerian Professional Football League winger stepping up in Johannesburg. That would be a story of its own. But the good news, Nigeria has got firepower. Victor Osimhen is in red hot form, scoring in both the Rwanda and Zimbabwe game. If he stays fit and avoids booking, he could be the key to unlocking South Africa's defense. But the team needs to tighten up at the back. William Troost-Ekong's hesitation really cost them against Zimbabwe, and they can't afford those mistakes against a confident Bafana side. The bad news? Nigeria's World Cup hopes are hanging by a thread. Even with a potential South Africa point deduction, they would still need to win all their remaining games. Rwanda, South Africa, Lesotho and Benin to hit 19 points and have shots at topping the group. If they don't, they will need to be one of the 4 best second place teams for the playoff. And that is a long shot with teams like Gabon, who is already on 15 points. It's a steep climb, but I believe in the Super Eagles though. Alright, football fam, let's wrap this up. The Super Eagles are in a tight spot with 9 players at the risk of mixing the biggest game of the qualifiers so far. South Africa potential point deduction could be a lifeline, but Nigeria has got to stay disciplined, focused and ready to fight. I'm talking no silly yellow cards against Rwanda, no defensive lapses, and all the Osimhen magic we can get. What do you think, Diary TV crew? Can the Super Eagles pull it together and make it to the 2026 World Cup? Who do you think should start against Rwanda to avoid these suspensions? Drop your thoughts in the comment below and let's get this conversation popping. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss an update from Diary TV. We are here for things football and we are rooting for Nigeria all the way. Until next time, I'm Ogenekara Asowe and this has been Diary TV. Let's keep the Super Eagles soaring. Peace out.